Hey, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Gabe. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my take on my hair transplant experience, and just a little background on myself. That way, to just properly introduce myself to the masses and give you guys sound information. Licensed barber for a few years now. Cut my own hair. I've been doing this since I was 11 years old. Decided to get my first hair transplant 3 years ago, 2020. On the whim of a coworker who was just, talking highly of a doctor in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And I went ahead and did my research. And I say the word research, and I'm going to say it many times going forward in this video. Research, guys, because just know that every hair clinic that you may come across is not the end all and the be all of your choice. Pick wisely. I went ahead and picked this clinic in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, because this is all I knew. Not to say that I had a bad experience, but there are other options, and it's all subjective to you, the person who's going to get it done. And I'm going to go ahead and dabble into a lot in this video, so just bear with me. Hopefully I can answer all your questions, and I'll have more videos going forward, especially when I get my second hair transplant in Istanbul, Turkey. I'll just, video the whole thing if I can. So let's get in it. I know I first started losing hair at 35 years old, which most men, give or take, lose it around 33 to 35. And I started freaking out. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? I had the front profile line was going back. It was dipping in. The temporal peaks were almost non-existent. And I couldn't have that. So I decided to go forward with the hair transplant. So I went with Dr. Bolton in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, a clinic called Great Hair Transplants. And I'm going to jump into different areas in this video. So just, again, bear with me. This is my first video getting back from, many years of not recording. But, I got a FUT procedure, which is a follicular unit transplantation for, I guess to sum it up, it's a strip. FUT, they're going to take a piece of meat from the back of your head, your occipital area, and they're going to cut it out with a razor. Everything is sterile. They're going to place it on a table, on a, whatever it is, and they're going to extract hair by hair from that piece of meat. Dr. Bolton was big on FUT. That's what he does. That's all he does in his practice that I know of. At least 3 years ago, that's what he said. That's all he did. And he was all about FUT. He said that he can extract way more hair from that procedure than from an FUE procedure. So I went along with it. I did it. I was left with a linear scar in the back of my head. I personally don't like it. It's very visible. It's not razor thin like was said to be. So yeah, I'm a little dissatisfied with that outcome. But there are options, and I can, rectify that when possible. So just know, guys, an FUT is going to leave a linear scar in the back of your head. Not cool. But then you have FUE, which is what I'm looking to get, which is a follicular unit extraction. And that is pretty much a punch of hair from the back of your head, one by one by one. And does it leave any scars? If someone says it doesn't, don't believe them. It does. The scar is not as bad as a linear scar, but it's little dots. It's little dots that you'll see in the back of your scalp, back of your head. You'll see little dots because that's where the hair was punched out from. Is the hair going to grow back on that area? Give or take, I don't know. It could not. So if you guys get an FUE anywhere, and it seems as though Turkey does this a lot, so we'll get into that as well. If they over-harvest, which is if they take out a lot of hairs from the back of your head, over-harvest means they're going to take out way too much hair that is necessary to take in one sitting. And that's going to leave you little dots all over your head, which hence is a scar. Several scars, actually. And we'll get into that. So why go to Turkey? I went to the United States. I live in the United States, so obviously I went here. I paid $8,000 well, I got a discount because I'm law enforcement. So I paid $7,000 for the hair transplant versus had I gone to Turkey, it would have been like what between a $1,500 to like $5,000, you know, so that's like half the price there. That is another reason why you want to go to Turkey. Another reason why I would recommend Turkey is because per my independent research, as you guys are doing yourselves, if you like a sharp, crisp hairline like I have, sharp, crisp hairline, Turkey does that. You know, and how do you, how would one or a doctor come to that end result is they put obviously one hair follicles at a time in the front of the hairline, but as they go back, they start putting more and more hairs, like 2s and 3s hair follicles. So it gives them more of a dense, harder look, which is the look that's the appearance I'm going for. I'm a barber. I'm used to cutting my hair with the edgers, and I like a crisp, sharp line. That's why Turkey is good for me. And if you guys like that crisp barbershop hairline, Turkey is the way to go. In the United States, from what I gather, what I've seen, is that they give you more of a natural appearance of a hairline, and which is cool. You know, a natural hairline typically starts with lighter hairs in the front, darker going back, but more and more lighter. The first rows would be like single hairs. At least that's what I've seen. You know, just take that with a grain of salt. Research, research, research. Like I've been saying, you know, since the beginning of the video, do your research. So yeah, I'm entertaining certain clinics in Turkey. I'll name some, you know, I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube, you know, from the past 3 years. I've been enlightened and learned a lot from a lot of individuals who've gone to Turkey, and some who have gotten them from the United States. Both in the States and in Turkey, great results. So I'm not dogging any clinic. I'm just telling you guys research and pick the best one that's relative to you, that's more important, whatever they have to offer. If you like their vibes, you have to like the outcome. If the outcome is the one you're looking for, go to them. But make sure you do your research. And I'll get into my research and what I've gathered during my research. But let me just finish up. I went, you know, 2020, Florida, got my hair transplant. You know, first 3 months, you're going to go through this thing where your hair is going to start falling out, which is due to something called shock loss. Your native hair, which is the hair you already had, some of it will fall off, some. And then even the new hair they implanted from your donor area is going to fall out too. It's the process. It has to go through that process. I call that the freak out moment, but it's also called the ugly duckling stage because you literally look like a brand new, I guess, duck that's out of the womb with little strands of hair. You look jacked up. I'm going to be straight up with you guys. As the saying goes, trust the process. Don't freak out. Rock with it. It's gonna grow inevitably. You know, first 3 months, they suck. 4th, 5th, and 6th, depending on, you know, you're the individual, you're going to start seeing more hair growth. 12th month, boom, everything's there like a chia pet, man. You got as much hair as you're going to grow. A year, you're going to see it all right there. So just, you know, that was my experience. Along the way, I used different things to, I guess, promote hair growth and also stop further hair loss. Excuse me, we'll get into more of that now. Finasteride. Finasteride gets a bad rap. We all know why. We've done the research because it may give you a limp penis. Now, let me pause. Let's get into it. Does it do that? Can it do it? There's something called a placebo effect. Look it up. Guys, if you're going into something already fearing for the worst, it's going to happen. If you're going to go into it without looking at it pessimistically, not worrying about that, it ain't going to happen. I mean, I can talk for myself and a vast majority of other men who've taken this without the fear, and they've gone, you know, many years using it. I've been using Finasteride for 3 years. The first time I used it, word to the wise, I was afraid, just like you guys. I was timid, and I experienced what is said. And the cool thing is that it's reversible. So it took me one time to kind of like understand, like, oh crap, what's going on, and I got off of it immediately. And then I came back to full throttle, doing my thing, putting it down. It was all good and gravy after that. So I'm telling you guys, and then I went back on Finasteride because I was upset. I'm like, you know what? Listen, I paid for this hair transplant. It's an investment. I'm not going to lose it because of a placebo effect, because of a fear factor. And I got headstrong, and I got on it. I said, you know what? I'm gonna do the Finasteride, and I'm gonna go into this full throttle, not afraid, and no fear. I got on it. Been good ever since. Have not suffered from that side effect that could come by fear, by virtue of fear. I'm good money. I am in it to win it. I'm strong in that department. So thumbs up. So guys, if you're afraid of Finasteride, don't let it get into your head, because the possibility of that happening is there. Done. Finasteride. Then it's something called a low-level laser hair therapy. And go back to this Finasteride pill, because it's a fun fact. I learned about this through another YouTube, I forget his name, another guy from YouTube who does videos. This is out of Texas, Dr. McGrath. This is from Stonegate Pharmacy. So this is a compound pill, which is cool. I've done the whole minoxidil thing, the serum, putting it on my forehead, on my beard and my crown area. It's too much work to stay up on. It really is. It's annoying. So I got a compound pill that has finasteride, minoxidil, and biotin, 3-in-1 in this one little tablet. I haven't taken mine, so I'll take it now. But yeah, it has everything in that one pill. No fear, see? No fear. And it all works. It all works well. But I thought that was a fun fact to throw in there. There's pills that you can take of Finasteride out there. I don't think Hims or these other companies that are now coming out of the woodwork, they're offering Finasteride at a very cheap price. I get this for about $120 every month. And yeah, it's from Stonegate Pharmacy. So you have to contact Dr. Daniel McGrath out of Austin, Texas, and say that you want to, be put on this here. And yeah, guys, thank me in advance. I think I want to be as transparent and open and give you guys the information that I have. I'm here to help you. We're all here to help each other. I'm not gaining any money from anybody. I wish I was, but I'm not. Not sponsored or nothing like that. Obviously, this is my first video, and you see I have no views. So, yeah, no sponsorship here. This is stuff that I've done my research on, and I'm currently on, full transparency. So, yeah, Finasteride, do you need it? I would think that if you invest in something, you would want to have like that insurance, right? Insurance to say, I spend money on this. I want to make sure that I'm going to be good. This here, Finasteride, we all know, blocks that hormone DHT, which is the main culprit for male pattern baldness, hair loss. And so I'm blocking that hormone along with minoxidil, which is in the pill. It's promoting hair growth, which is what minoxidil does. And then biotin, it's, reported or believed that biotin will promote hair growth, nail growth, that kind of stuff. And I think it does work in correlation altogether. So yeah, guys, if you have any questions, hit them up in the comment area. Next prevention that I've taken along my journey is this helmet by Iris Store, which is called I think it's called the Professional. This is a low-level laser hair therapy. You put it on your head every other day for about 25 minutes. It does this thing. It's supposed to promote hair growth. Does it work? I don't know. To be frank with you, I do not know. If I only use this and this only, and not Finasteride and biotin and nothing else, then I could probably say, oh yeah or nay, it works or it doesn't. But I don't know. I've been doing this collectively. I've been doing Finasteride, minoxidil collectively together. I think everything together works, just like a car runs well with every fluid that it has. And yeah, so that's pretty much my take. That's my experience with the FUT. FUT, why I would not recommend FUT, excuse me, which is a strip surgery, because they're taking a piece of meat out of your head. It's going to leave a scar, a linear scar. Mine is very noticeable. It's not thin like a razor line, as I was told. It's thicker than that. I don't like it. Don't get it. If you don't want a scar, do not get it. If you want no scar, linear, get a FUE, get a DHI. So my next stop is going to be Istanbul, Turkey. I'm going to go. I'm entertaining conversations with a few clinics in Turkey. I'll tell you which ones they are. Aisha's one. I just saw them early this morning. To my optics, they have very good results with their hairlines the way I want it. Atraxia, another one. Astenovi, Now Hair Time, Vera, and Aslitarkin. Aslitarkin. That's a fun topic of interest. A lot of people are skeptical of Aslitarkin. Per my experience of research, because I haven't been to them, what I see is that they give you what you want. You're paying the money, they're going to give you what you're asking for. If you want to cover everything under the sun, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Caveat is that they extract a lot of hair from the back of your donor area, about 5,000 plus, which is called maximum, the max, what is it? They guarantee you max extraction. They're going to take out as much hair as they can, which is 5,000 follicles plus. What can happen is that you lose the chance of getting another hair transplant in the future. But also, you have way more little dots, little holes that are permanent sometimes. And then it looks jacked up. Then, you're forced to have a skin fade for the rest of your life as a haircut. My recommendation for Aslitarkin, not to dog them, if you're going to choose them, it's because you want everything you can get on the top of your head and on the sides. But you're willing to rock a skin fade for the rest of your life. If that's your end goal, by all means, go to them. They'll give you what you want, bang for your buck, good money, right? If you don't want to have your back of your donor area jacked up, if you really want to have more options, like to grow your hair out, to get a blowout, to have a slick back, long hair, go to other places. There are other places that don't extract that much hair from the back of your donor area. And they maintain that integrity of what they should and should not do. So yeah, check out other places. Like I said, research. I've done my research. My top 3 looks to be Now Hair Time, Astenovi, and maybe Aisha. Why? Because I liked, with the exception of Aisha, because I haven't communicated fully with them yet. I've communicated with Vera, Now Hair Time, Aslitarkin, Astenovi. Communication's been good. Some of them were not able to do my beard. I have a little bit of a little area where I'd like to fill that in. I forget. I think it was. I forget what clinic said they couldn't do that in one sit-in, in one procedure, whereas other clinics said they can. Clearly, I'm going to go to the one that says they can do my hairline, my crown, and my beard. So again, you choose wisely what fits you, what fits your liking. And if it works for you guys, if they check off all the boxes that you need, then go with them. But do your research, really. Another thing I've noticed with Aslitarkin, I've seen a lot of it's not a bad thing. I mean, you have to find your what works for you, and I see that they have a lot of good results with coarse hair, like African American hair, and that's I think that's like their big clientele, which is great. I have straight hair. So I have to, when I'm doing my research, I have to research a place that does a lot of straight hair. And this is all, again, a part of doing research. You have to see who's a right fit for you. So Ashley Tarkin does a lot of African American men and women, and they do a phenomenal job, man. I've seen a lot of like good results. But remember, they take out 5,000 hairs on the back of your donor area. A lot of people, even if they're satisfied with their results, they still say, yeah, it's jacked up, but I could rock a skin fade for the rest of my life. I don't care. Thumbs up for them, right? That's cool. But if you don't want a jacked up back of your head, then you may not want to get Ashley Tarkin. So yeah, that's why I revert back to the research. So yeah, turkey. Why turkey? Because it's cheaper. It's half the price. Better results, I think, in terms of what you get for your money. And why am I getting a second one? Because there's spots that you can't see because I use hair fibers and other camouflage to make my lines look more defined. I cut my own hair, so I have that luxury. So yeah, I have areas that you can't really tell, but I have areas in my front that I disguise on the side profile. I dye my hair black. So there's secrets of the trade of the barber business. Like I use Kabuki hair fibers. Again, I ain't sponsored. I wish I was, but I'll be making some bread. But Kabuki, to me, honestly, I haven't tried all the hair fibers in the world, but I've tried like 2 other hair fibers. I think one of them was Topic, whatever it's called. And this, to me, was the best one that I've used ever. Like this covers a lot of ground. It sticks on the hair. This is the best one, Kabuki, and I've gone with them. I've been rocking with Kabuki for like the past 4 years, I think. Another thing that I use that works is this air gun. For the front hairline, I just get like a little strip. This is real cool. This is a game changer for guys who are looking to mask, cover light spots. It's really dope. I use it with this here, Kiss hair dye. YouTube that, see how the guys do it. You're mixing a bottle like this with alcohol, rubbing alcohol, and then you're pouring some of this in here. You're mixing it. You're placing it in here. And then you're doing your thing. And it works pretty good. I'll show you guys how that looks in the bottle, because I mix it in a water bottle. Excuse me. Which is let me just get this out of the way here. So yeah, I mix it in here. This is how it looks. And when I'm ready to rock, I just pour this in the ink in there and I just go to town. And it works. It works pretty well. So I'm giving you guys a lot of tips here. If you guys want to ask questions, go ahead, ask questions, man. Drop them on the comment area. I have nothing but time. I have some available time on my hands. I look to go to Turkey sometime around November to January. So I'll pick wisely. I'm more than likely going to go for the FUE, which is predominantly what they do there. I think I was talking to SD Novi or Now Hair Time, one or the other. They suggested that they'll do FUE for my hairline, and then they'll do DHI for the crown. DHI, direct hair implantation. It's like a new technique that they have now out there. And from what I gather, they're able to put like 3 and 4 hair follicles at a time in their little puncture pen into your area where you're deficient in hair, where you're losing hair in your transplant area. So yeah, that's something new. They're swearing by it, DHI. Look it up, research it, see if it's something that's worth your while, if it's what you want. And again, I'm gonna dish out more videos. I hope that I was as helpful as I can be. I've seen videos with other people. They have this, fancy stuff going on, which is dope. It's cool. But I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to keep it raw and authentic. Pause. I just wanted to keep it authentic so that you guys can just feel the genuineness. You know, again, I'm not sponsored by anybody. This is just from a brother to another, my perspective on my experience as a transplant patient, FUT in the United States, as a hair enthusiast, as a licensed barber, as a person who's been independently researching this hair thing for a long time. And I've showed you some tricks to the trade. So hopefully you guys, I got that. If y'all have questions about it, you know, give me a holler, ask a question. I'll answer it as best I can. So yeah, I'll conclude with this. Just know there'll be more videos coming up. I'll do videos on more in depth on like aftercare. I'll definitely record the video when I go to Istanbul, Turkey, so you guys can see what the deal is from my perspective. Some of these places, they use like the long needles where they inject the solution and make your head go numb. And a lot of people are on the fence about that. I think I'm not sure if it's Estinovi. I think they have like a different technique where they use like it looks like a marker or something. They just put it on your head, your scalp, wherever they're gonna implant hair, and it's like, I don't know if it shoots like something through your pores, which in turn makes your head numb. But yeah, and even so, I think they may still use needles. So I had the needles put in because I had a FUT, so I know what it feels like. It depends on your pain tolerance, man. It really wasn't that deep for me to remember the pain. When I got my FUT, another thing, and I got the cut, they cut a piece of meat from the back of my head. I didn't have any pain. I mean, the only pain that you do feel, let me say that again, I'm sorry. The only pain that you do feel that I did have is when they put the needles in your scalp because they have to numb everything. So they put that in there. Yeah, you feel that. It's a pinch. It's a needle, right? But after that, it's a wrap. It's numb. You don't feel nothing. The cool thing was when I was in Florida, they gave me some pills to go to sleep. I don't know what they were, but I was knocked out. I know that I woke up and it was already said and done. They were just like, he was just like stitching me up in the back. I didn't feel a thing through the whole procedure, which is cool. But I think one of the fear factors that a lot of people have is like pain. You know, you'd be surprised that a hair transplant, there's not much pain, to be honest. There's not much pain. You will feel the needles, but you know, if you've had a needle before, you know what it feels like. It's a pinch. They're long. Those puppies are long, so it's going to be a pinch with a little burn, but it takes less than 5 minutes, maybe, for them to like inject your whole head and all that stuff. And imagine me, I'm going to get the beard, so they're going to inject my jaw, my face, you know, that. So it's going to be sucky. But I'm going to get her done. And hopefully I covered a lot of ground. I answered a lot of questions. Again, this is my first video. If you guys have any questions thereafter, hit me up on a comment section and I'll answer them as best I can, okay? Signing off, guys. We will talk again. Peace.